Good afternoon, everyone. It is Friday, June 27, 2025. We have a double top here, and is the market set for a pullback finally? Or are we just seeing a little bit of noise? Let's get into it here. First, give the video a thumbs up if you could. Please help me out. Helps the channel out. Keeps me happy. Keeps you guys happy. Just keep the content coming. Also, come find me on carnivoretrades.com for swing trading alerts, analysis, and live day trading. Got a great sale going on right now. Slow week, but we should get back to some volatility next week, at least potentially. Maybe some price discovery here. We've had a gap higher every single day this week, and we are seeing a little bit of dippage here as we get into the final 2 hours. I'm doing this video way earlier than normal, but guys, it's a Friday afternoon in June, so you guys can kind of get the idea there. I don't expect any dip to make too much noise here. In fact, you'll see if you go back and check the short from this morning, I said 615 would probably get closed below, as would 550 QQQ. So I think we're just backing off right now, and there's news that just came out, a headline that just came out, and it was in regards to something to do. It was Canada. They're terminating discussions with Canada. Let me tell you, it has nothing to do. This dip has nothing to do with that. We've had bear headlines and bull headlines like all throughout the last 24 hours, and none of them have mattered at all until this one right now, and that's not a coincidence. And I'll just show you right now, again, if you didn't watch the short this morning, you can just see this 615 here. That's been a target all day long. And we got through it a little bit. I even tried fading it this morning. I gave up because I just didn't really care at a certain point. With that just being a June Friday afternoon, it's Capital Preservation Friday. We've had a good week here, and sold our ES runner for over 100 points earlier this morning, which is nice. Still holding some SPXL though, but nonetheless, and I think that's from 152, so way back there. But nonetheless here, yeah. Are we in a double top? I mean, yeah, I guess we are. I would love to see some more pullback, or at least price discovery, and I think that's something that, we got that 610 marker there. I could even see 605, but just remember, we're going to holidays next week. We only have 4 days. Again, big money right now is not in this. They're not involved in this market here. There is a little bit of short covering going on, which has kept us pushing higher. And I'll be interested to see where the COTs are later tonight. I would assume you'll see some hedge fund short covering and maybe some bank profit taking, but we're still looking for upside here. And again, the longer we stay, I've said this pretty much every day this week, but the longer we stay above 6,000, the stronger that delta gets going into July and into mid-July. So we're still coming into we're technically in a window of weakness right now, and we're going up. So again, bears are just, the shot clock is just, it's really run out here. That doesn't mean we can't see a dip. That doesn't mean we can't see pulling back. That doesn't mean we can't see some price discovery, but it's going to be hard for this market to go down here with the holidays. Low participation, low volume, summer doldrums, that type of deal. But I would welcome a little bit more of pulling back here, and definitely for day trading, especially as these kind of just overnight gaps are a little bit tricky to trade intraday. But that's why we leave runners, and that's a big reason and big part of my strategy. But nonetheless, here we'll see if we get a new weekly all-time high. I do think we'll close below 615, as I alluded to earlier. And you can see right now this technical double top is holding. 613.23 is the level on SPY, and then SPX, it's 6147.43. So we're 10 points above that right now. We'll see if it holds. I think they'll try to get us to close above the all-time high, but below 615, just so they can get the weekend, the feel-good news, that type of deal into the weekend. But we'll see. It's a kind of a thin margin here. Triple Qs, again, backing off of 550 like we expected. This actually might even close red. We'll see. It's not that far off. So we'll see if that happens. We are seeing some hedging come up here in the VIX, and this needs some sort of a bounce here. I do think VIX gets supported at 15 going to July, but it should get some sort of a DCB at least here. So we'll see if that peaks us out a little bit going into next week. IWM, again, backing off last week. That 215 area is so sticky right now, but end of quarter. Oh, by the way, speaking of end of quarter, End of quarter for single tickers is today. So if you see big moves in like, you know, Apple or Microsoft or these, you know, Palantir, these high flyer stocks in the last 10 minutes, don't get too excited. It's just end of quarter stuff. But Monday we'll have end of quarter. My guess is the Russell probably closes below 515. Maybe they walk us back to 6,100. We'll see, you know, for Monday's close. But yeah, overall, you know, market's still acting pretty well. IWM made a higher high today. The Dow breaking out as well. It is pulling back, went right into 440, pivot high right there. So you know there's probably going to be some supply, and it is backing off. So we'll see if we get some retests here over the next couple of days, but I'm not really expecting much more than that. You got SMH and double top as well. And yeah, right there. So pretty textbook. Got AMD, I think dipping. Yeah, AMD pulling back. That's had a nice move off the lows. NVIDIA, new all-time high. Had that hanging man that we talked about yesterday, but no follow-through. So still a new all-time high there. Cloud hanging on to the flat line as well. Again, maybe one more dip here can take that up to all-time highs. We got transports here backing off, but again, higher high there. That might, I mean, that's got a nice little base here. That might run into some resistance though with the, you got the 200 and then you got this breakdown area right above it, like 15.7, 15.8. But it does have a nice base though, and it is, you know, the weekly here. It's pretty good. And then, you know, 16K above that. Rates again on the day overall, getting a little bit of a bounce as you look at Bitcoin, which we'll talk about in a second as always, but they are pulling back a little bit. So bonds coming back here. Yeah, the bonds actually came back quite a bit towards the in the morning here. So again, it looks like July cut is definitely like on the table. And I think the market's sniffing that out, and that's probably having a lot to do with why we're rallying. So we may just float up into that FOMC meeting. But yeah, I mean, the Fed has plenty of, if it wasn't political before, it's definitely political now if they don't cut, because there's plenty of room here. There's plenty of space. Unless we start pushing back up above, you know, start getting back close to 4 in the next 2-3 weeks. I don't think, yeah, it's definitely political if they don't. I think they'll cut in July. No, it's only 25 basis points, so it's not like we're talking about 100 like Trump wants. And I'm sure he'll slam Powell when that happens. But yeah, that's what it's looking like here. 10s and 30s backing off too, but still green on the day. There are some sectors I think that could catch up here. I think they're sniffing out rate cuts too. Look at XHB on the weekly. It's firmed up. This has got a nice bull pattern here. And VNQ, same thing. IYR, I like a little bit better. Looks really good there. I think that's getting ready for a little break here. I usually use VNQ, but they paid a dividend, so kind of messed up that chart there. XLF again, right into, you know, almost fresh highs. That might be, it's got a chance to get a new weekly closing high though. I don't think it's going to happen though. If we stay below 615, which I think we will, it'll probably just settle right here. KRE, again, another one. I tweeted about all these here, but yeah, I mean, nice base, and it's starting to perk up. So even KRE catching up, KBE catching up, higher highs today, although it did, you know, it is flat right now. Broker dealers, new highs. So there are some, catch-up stocks here. Speaking of catch-up, I mean, look at like a Nike. I know some of my members have this. They've had it. I mean, look at this level here. You know, it doesn't get much better than that. So everybody makes fun of it until it works. You know, same thing with like AMD. I mean, you know, eventually these quality stocks will bottom, and you know, went into a big level too. So anyway, moving on here. Oil, yeah, up 22 cents. Nothing's changed from yesterday. I need more. The only thing I'd be interested in is maybe if we broke down and got to 62, I would be interested in that, especially if it happened like soon, like next week. XLE down 64 cents, but I do like the higher lows, and I like if it can work its way back above 86, and yeah, I would like that. It looks like it wants to, so we'll see. But still got a lot of work to do. OIH and XOP hanging in there. Nat Gas, nice bounce today, up 5 3/4. So nice move for that. Got the dollar was lower, but now bouncing back up. So it rebounded after that weak data this morning. So dollar hanging in there. Gold off the lows, but again, just be careful here. Lower high and a little lower low there. GDX testing the 50 MA right now. Nothing broken, nothing terrible. There was a level I was looking at this morning. Actually, someone was asking me about this morning, and I said, watch 33.65, and it got to 33.66. Sorry, 32.66. I was looking for a little bit more of a sweep of this low, and it didn't quite do enough for me to get it, but it rallied nonetheless. That was a nice little day trade. I know a couple of people took that. Silver down 1.68. Nothing terrible here either, and I like the weekly. So the weekly's still fine. Breakout, 1, 2, 3 consolidation, nothing, no problems here. No problems. At least not right now. Platinum down big, but it's had a big run, and this is at a multi-year high now. So there's a reason why I was pimping these platinum and palladium for a long time. It's just, you know, if you want to buy a precious metal, don't chase gold. Get these while nobody wants them. Get it before nobody wants it. Copper, again, trying to, a little pause after the breakout yesterday. Inside hammer, no problems. And then we got Bitcoin here, still holding up, no problems here either. I do think this may digest a little bit more though. I could see this, having to do some more here. It's not quite mature enough. But outside of that, I mean, just advance, pullback, advance, pullback, advance, pullback. So I think Bitcoin's fine too. I'm not really too concerned, although it can do some backing and filling, like I said. So we'll see what we get here. Again, I know I'm doing the video early, but like I said, it's a Friday in the middle of June. We got 4th of July coming up here. Don't overtrade this tape, until we get at least a little bit of price discovery. When I say price discovery, what I mean is like, some chop, right? We want either some chop or a pullback, right? So when we're just melting up here like this, you just got to ride the trend. Maybe this, maybe some little profit taking here too after the big up move, but I think that 615 that's our LG1. We had that circled from the get-go this morning, and I don't see us really breaking through it. So yeah, it's still pretty prominent. That said, I mean, this like dealer delta's on fire here. So, and it's pretty much like that all throughout July. So, there might be a little bit of weakness, a little bit of dipping and pulling back, but that doesn't mean that we have to go down. So again, this market is probably just now seeing the short covering from last week, and I showed that to you yesterday. This market is, it's very, very, excuse my day trading lines there, but it's extremely short. Retail and hedge funds, they're extremely short, and they're short every index. So I would expect some of this to come back a little bit next week, but just because price is higher doesn't mean that everybody's long. Just remember that. We also have a massive liquidity program starting in, one trading day after today. So anyway, about that. Anyways, guys, I'll wrap it up here again. You guys take care. Have a great weekend. Go get some sun. Go to the beach. Have a good time. Come find me on carnivoretrades.com. I'll see you guys all on Monday.